Hello Leo, exciting times are ahead this month with Mars conjunct Neptune on the 20th. Also, in January on the 20th, the Sun leaves Capricorn and enters Aquarius on the 20th as well. So let's see how your ruling planet of the Sun affects you in January, Leo. Always remember that if you're a Leo in the northern hemisphere, at this time of year, you're going to be managing the fundamentals, whereas those down under are going to be shining very brightly. I'm Pastor Rosemary. Thank you for joining us. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Leo angel Virgo, who resides over your fixed fire, Leo. And here are his angelic transmissions for you in the areas of love, money, and health. Now first, Virgo's love transmission. Love is going to be kind of sappy this month because of your big heart, Leo. And of course, it's going to be affected by the moon because other people who are very affected by the moon are going to be coming at you, because you're the sun, in a kind of, kind of to reflect off you kind of a way. They're going to be trying to lure you in. So don't take the bait. That doesn't mean that they don't really care about you, but what it means, Leo, is that, around the holidays, people are very lovey-dovey, right? But then come around, tax season, a few months down the road, those same people who were so loving are gonna, want to take an axe to you. So, because of the season, because of, how everybody feels, that they're not getting enough of this, that, or the other thing. So don't take the bait. That doesn't mean don't be nice or be friendly, but don't be stupid. You understand. Because Leo, you're very compassionate and you're very forgiving. And you also, you want to put people on a pedestal. And you want to keep them on a pedestal. So as soon as if you feel that you're having trouble, keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, it's because you feel you want to always have those that you admire above you. So you keep yourself sort of here. But you're getting to the point where, that's not helping you anymore. And we've gone from Pisces into Aquarius, so now we're in a different age, so a different eon. So now you can sort of rise up a little bit more, not have to be so volleyed back and forth by the proclivities of the sun's motions. You can, and you will, but it'll be easier now because Saturn is a very even-keeled planet. It slows everything down. And so it'll calm everything down and make everything, I don't know if fair is the word, but more structured, a more solid foundation, because it's fixed air. It's not mutable water. So you do well with air signs because it stimulates, as you know, air stimulates fire. Okay, Leo, so the moon is going to be a wolf moon this month. And the wolf moon is a full moon. It's going to be on the 4th and the 5th. Now the new moon, which begins in Capricorn on the 19th at 2% light, goes into Aquarius on the 20th, that 20th as well, at 1% light, and remains for its 3 days of darkness it'll stay in Aquarius for that last night, where it will be at 2% light. So it goes from Capricorn on the 19th to Aquarius on the 20th and 21st. The 20th being when it's at 1% light, the least amount of light. That's the 3 days of darkness that happens. In Scripture, that's what they talk about. That's what it's really about. Okay. In the womb, right? All right. Now, people are going to really be kind of crazy at the wolf moon, howling at the wolf moon, kind of the lonely hearts. And you don't have to take, you don't take advantage of people, but what you want to do is just not let them take advantage of you either. But you want to be friendly and helpful, but don't give away the store because of the tugging at the heartstrings that happens to you. Now that's the full moon, when people and you are a little crazy. Now, around the new moon, from the 19th to the 21st, those 3 days of darkness, what you want to do is understand that that's kind of an empty time for people when they really need your light, especially with the Mars conjunct Neptune aspect on the 20th as well. People, Mars rules over Aries, and Neptune is going to affect Pisces individuals for obvious reasons. What is Neptune but Poseidon? Okay, so you just want to not get too caught up in other people's demands. Now, on the 15th, Mars is square Saturn, and that's going to be a very hard aspect when it comes to money, because Saturn rules over, all the regulations. So there's going to be a lot of bickering over financial regulation, even political regulation like gun regulation, those kind of things. It could get very ugly in January. Mars is very active, and it's got some very difficult aspects and oppositions and squares. So you just want to understand that. You don't want to get into it with people about money at that time. You want to be very careful and not let things escalate. You don't want to let things get out of control. You don't want to get your Leo temper up in a frenzy. You are fixed fire, so you can be a nice, warm campfire. You don't want to be a wild, out of control explosion, Leo. You want to be controlled. Again, now here in the age of Aquarius, things are more relaxed because the Saturn rules Aquarius, fixed air, and Saturn gives you more time and lets the expanse of your mind take the time you need to be that warm campfire that you truly are, and not take things so personally from people that are just, quite frankly, jealous of you, Leo. Now, the health transmission, you're going to be pensive, and your spleen can be effective by your maybe obsessive behavior that will cause your spleen to be drained of ki. So try not to obsess too much over any one thing. Remember, Leo, if we die to our ego every day, our finances, our relationships, and our health need not suffer. So whenever you are overly doing anything in a nervous fashion, whether it's nervously cleaning or nervously exercising or nervously eating or nervously, whatever, that's when it starts to become addictive. That's when it starts to become something that you don't want to let overwhelm you, because that's when it becomes unhealthy. That's when it's the ego. So if you feel like you have to get 6 things done in one day or 12 things done in one day, do 3. And die that day in the ego, knowing that you cannot get everything done that you need to get done every single day. So simply get a reasonable amount done. That's how we live in the moment, but plan for the future. You have your plan, then stick to your plan. Because if you stick to your plan, you're not letting your ego and worry overwhelm you. You're not letting your obsessiveness get to you. You can obsess, Leo. So calm the mind, let it expand, and move forward. Don't lean forward, move forward, and all will be well with you. Okay, this is your Virtual transmission. Okay, Leo, now we're going to just give you a brief rundown, it's a little afterglow, of the specific dates when the sun is going to be affected by Mars activity. Again, why are we harping on Mars? Mars is just really active this month. And it's going to cause, again, a lot of fighting and possibly even very, very cruel or bad behavior by individuals that are so disposed. So just to give you a heads up on when these things affect you precisely, the Sun is square Mars in a Sun cycle on January 15th. So, you know, that's going to really affect you. The squares are going to really affect you. It's a difficult aspect. So, what you need to know is that your ruling planet, the Sun, is your, it's will, but it's a willful heart. The will that tries to find harmony. The will to sacrifice the self. Okay? The Sun on the cross. It's the Christ aspect. Now, Mars is more the aspect of, it's a warrior or soldier aspect, not a martyr aspect of the hero. So the will is engaged in Mars strongly. But the will of Mars is not for harmony. It's to conquer. And it deals with courage. Because courage is simply the other side of the coin of fear. And Leo's will towards harmony is simply the other side of the coin for disharmony. So you want to be very aware of this square around the 15th of January when the Sun squares Mars in a Sun cycle. These difficult aspects are inner conflicts. So what's the best thing to do? The best thing to do, Leo, is don't force anything. And don't let anybody force you. Just take a little bit of a, let's just be easy with this. Like, it's just like if something, you can't get something to work and you go too far and you break it. These aspects this month can cause that kind of thing. It's like, I want this to work. It's like a frustration thing. And again, these are internal battles that if we deal with them internally, whatever you hold true on earth, Peter, I will hold true in heaven. So we handle it here, then it will be handled up there. It's up to us, each and every one of us, to handle things well. And if we handle things well in January, it'll help everybody. We say, well, I just want it to help me and hurt them, or I just want it to help me and my family and hurt them and their family. That's not going to serve anybody, because then everything will be wiped out and nobody wins. Stop trying to get things in a position where now I have everything. Because when you have everything you want, you're no longer satisfied, and then you just have no reason to live because you're satiated. If the glass is all full and somebody loves pouring you water, say somebody loves pouring you a lovely glass of fresh water, and they want to keep pouring and pouring and pouring because they love giving. And it gets to the point where it's full and it's overflowing, well, that you don't want any more. And when you're full, you don't want any more. So it's almost like you have to have a magic glass. It's never empty and never full. But somebody can just pour in it forever, and it's the Holy Grail because it's never filled, but it's always accepting and it's always accepting it happily. This is the state that God or the Creator wants you in. A holy grail, always gladly accepting the flow from each day. The flow of God consciousness, of water, of blessings each day. See everything as a blessing. And it's so wonderful when it's not full and it's not empty. It's wonderful when it's always and how do we do that? We share. So cheers. I'm Pastor Rosemary, coming to you from Ansar Angels Ave. Thank you for joining us, and join us again next month.